Hello, everyone. This is Bruno with the new segment called 10 Minutes or Less with Bruno, No BS. Very simple and casual to do interviews. No fancy cameras here. Today, I have the honor to speak with the president of one of the most well-known roofing companies in Richmond, Virginia, my friend Scott from Hertless Brothers Roofing. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Good to see you today.
Good to see you too, man. How's everything? Everything's good with your family?
Everybody's safe and healthy. We're thankful for that, and I trust everybody is on your side.
All right, same thing here. So tell a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in our roofing industry?
It's been almost 30 years I've been in the industry. Started in 1990 for a great firm down in Norfolk, Virginia, J.D. Miles and Sons. They gave me the honor of working for them, which meant being a laborer and doing a coal tar pitch tear-off. Find out what roofing was all about.
All right. When did you realize that roofing would be a career for you? You're like, you know what? I'm going to take this with passion.
So that's funny that you asked it. There was no epiphany. There was no just sort of aha moment. It was sort of a culmination of events. So I started out working in the field, dealt pay for college. So I worked summers roofing starting in 90 down in Tidewater, Virginia. And I enjoyed it. But, you know, I was still committed to getting my college education. So I graduated with double major in public administration and history, and I went right into my major field, which is an unusual occurrence. Most people don't graduate and go into their field of study.
Exactly.
So I was able to do that. I went to South Georgia and worked for a quasi-governmental agency doing downtown development and historic preservation. Loved the subject matter, hated the environment. And so after a year of doing that, and realizing that I was Virginia born and bred and I was engaged to a Virginia girl, I said, something's got to change. So I went back into roofing to buy some time until I could figure out how to do anything. Well, I've never left, and I love it. And through the process of just spending time in the industry and sort of reflecting back on my first job, and you know, I talked to my dad early on, and he said, you know, sometimes life is not about learning what you want to do, but learning what you don't want to do. And what I learned was, while I love the subject matter, I couldn't be behind a desk all day. I wanted to be with a variety of different people. I wanted to experience owners and architects and engineers and deal with the guys. I love the guys in the field, you know, so all that time to be with them sort of said, you know, I really like what I do. So this is what I want to stick with. From that, I'll just sort of elaborate, is that a lot of what I tell my kids is, my hope for you is that your job is your avocation. But if your job isn't your avocation, let your vocation support your avocation. And roofing has let me do that. I actually have now come to the point where my job is my avocation, but for a long time, it was a vocation I liked that supported my avocation, which my avocation, I really enjoy being involved in promoting the industry or workforce development or government affairs. And through roofing, I've had that opportunity to do that. So I've been able to use my college majors and actually do something that's beneficial for our industry. So it's been a blast in that regard.
Awesome. Let me ask a question. By the way, guys, you see, roofers have degrees too. A lot of people don't think that they skip a college and they don't have even high school diploma. I do have a degree. He has a degree. A lot of people has degrees. So don't think less of a roofer. Okay. What does it mean, you know, brothers, you know, on your roofing company? Do you have brothers or family work with you together? No.
No, that's a funny story. So all things being said, my dad, I love him dearly, but he's manually incompetent. He would hurt himself at the first swing of a hammer. So Dad, I love you, but you know, no, there's no history. Hertless Brothers started in 1935. So we're 85 years old, and it started out as the Hertless Brothers. And it went through probably about 40, 50 years of being in the family business. And eventually they got to a point where they sold it outside of the family. And so it went through two owners before I came along and bought it. And great people before me all have committed to honoring the Hertless Brothers name, because it's a great name within the community here in Richmond. So when I came along, I was committed to keeping that reputation. And besides, Shufflebarger just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Tell me how hard it is to separate the business, you know, because it's very demanding business, you know, and also family time, you know, that you have to spend with your wife or with your kids.
A great question, and I wish I had an answer for you. I'm not a savant in that area. It is an ongoing process for me to learn how to do that. I think I've gotten a lot better of it. And so, you know, they always say that sort of the adage of pay yourself first. And so I started working on that, you know, what was my commitment? When I bought the business, I would lie to you if I said there wasn't a profit motive to it, because we all want to make a living.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
really bought the business because I wanted to have a life and a time and to spend time. My kids were younger then. I mean, they were only had 2. Now I have 3. So back then they were like 5 and 3. And I just wanted to be able to say, hey, if they were going to school, I didn't want to have to ask anybody so I could go to their school play or make it to the, you know, the Easter egg hunt or whatever that or if I wanted to go to lunch with my wife and it happened to turn into an hour and 15 minutes, I didn't want to have to justify that. So I bought it for quality of life, but that was tough. You know, we had to work to find that work-life balance. And what I found is it came through a process of negotiating with my wife to say, hey, I've got to commit. I'm Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's my work life. After that, I'm all yours. Now, if we need to displace some of that where we're going out to lunch and whatnot, I just sort of need to make up that time somewhere. So maybe that's early on a Saturday morning, returning some emails or whatnot. And once we struck that balance of what was acceptable for her and honoring her time and my time with the kids, we were able to sort of strike it out. Is there a magic way to do that? No, everybody's got to figure that out for themselves.
Yes, it is.
I've worked on it, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, that's what's worked for me.
All right, my question is, what do you see for the future of our roofing industry, especially for the new generation and maybe entrepreneurs that wants to follow the same path, you know, maybe someone that does have the skills and the knowledge, but don't have the money to invest, but they do have the ability to become an entrepreneur in the future. What kind of, you know, idea you can give to them, or maybe, you know, some suggestions, you know, for them to be successful just like you?
Well, that's a great question, and I think it starts back to, you know, you and I mentioned we both have degrees, but I think the beauty about roofing is that you don't have to have a degree to be successful. You don't have to be a college graduate to be successful in this industry, but you can also be. It can be at either or both. You could start out without the industry degree and then get a degree. So that's the fantastic thing about our industry, is it allows everybody in, and it's sort of the classic American dream. You work hard, you learn the business, you can be successful in this business. We're professionals, and people need to view us as such. I think one of the things, there's a great fellow, Mac Beaton, over at Henrico County Public Schools, and he says, you know, he says, our goal in high school really should be 3 things. It's not reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's 3 things. It's either get the folks enrolled in college, enlisted in the military, or employed into the trades. That's his commitment, and I love those 3 E's, and I think that's where we as an industry need to go, is really promote ourselves on the opportunities that we have. We need to show them that path forward, and recruit them and show them that earning potential and how broad it is. It can be being a roofing contractor. It could be, you know, what you do, being on the manufacturer side. The breadth of our industry is enormous, and they need to see that potential.
Yeah, bring back the trade school, you know, and I think it's very important. I remember growing up, going to high school, man, they have trade in school and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing anymore, nothing. No, kids cannot be kids anymore. Hey, one last question before I let you go. Any message out there you want to give to, you know, the people that listen to, you know, my followers, some of your followers, you know, on social media? Any message you want to give to them? Could be anything, even related to the pandemic we have right now.
So, yeah, you know, message, I'm not some big philosophical, waxing poetic guy. I don't have a sermon for you. But what I would say is one, thank you. I think we need to have a message of positivity and hope, and realize that we are a great industry, and we're stronger together. And I'm seeing that the encouragement of what we're facing currently, and probably some of the economic issues we're going to face coming out of this, we're stronger together as an industry, and we proved it by events like this, podcasts like this, as well as just the way I'm seeing our community in the roofing associations here work together to promote and encourage each other. So thank you, and that's it. It's just stay strong, stay together.
Hey, thank you so much, Scott. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Have a good one.